Hello and welcome to this video. We from Germany will present you the area where our school, Krem, is located. We live in Germany, more specifically in North Rhine-Westphalia, more specifically in the Ruhr area, and even more specifically in Mörs, but that's not our topic. The Ruhr area has roughly a surface area of 4,400 square kilometers. The biggest cities located here are Essen, Dortmund and Düsseldorf, with over 500,000 inhabitants each. These three cities make up almost 1/3 of the Ruhr area's population. 40% of the Ruhr area's surface is used for agriculture. About the same amount is built on with cities and infrastructure, and only 17% are forests and 4% is water. For those interested, the most common forests are the deciduous forests. Due to the close proximity to the North Baltic Sea, the climate in Germany is cold and humid. The summers are mostly humid, with temperatures sometimes above 30 degrees Celsius. The winters are dry and we rarely have snow, but if the ground is covered, the view only becomes more beautiful. Though due to climate change, the summers are getting hotter and the winters are getting milder, thus snowy days become more rare. As you can see, most of the cities are densely packed together. That's why we have the highest city density in Germany. Most people might know the Ruhr area for its ugly industrial buildings. But that's not completely true. Thanks to the coal excavation, we got slag heaps, a nice place from where you can look at other nice places, like museums, and of course our beautiful old cities. Lots of buildings survive the flow of time. You can see that in almost every city. Old-fashioned looking buildings and narrow streets not made for cars but for pedestrians. Those cities have districts that are more than 100 years old. These buildings were renewed, but they kept their building style. For example, the Corneliusplatz, the marketplace, the castle square, the Oststraße, and the shore of the Rhine in Düsseldorf. And you can find more of these sites in most other cities. The typical center of the Ruhr area, located in Röllinghausen on Orlandstraße 49, where a small rock is placed with the engraved coordinates of its location.
The Ruhr area used to be characterized by coal mining and the steel industry. ThyssenKrupp, a company that manufactures steel, dominated the Ruhr area with its steel power. Today the company still has 4 plant locations in the Ruhr area. Since there was a structural change in the 1970s, the Ruhr region was transformed into the service sector by the coal crisis. Many former industrial buildings were converted into parks or museums. Landschaftspark Nord in Duisburg is a former industrial area. Steel used to be produced there. Today, it is the best known recreational area created from the remains of industry in the Ruhr area. There is a climbing park, and you can also climb up the old blast furnace and have a beautiful view of the whole Ruhr area. Due to the enormous coal production in the 19th century, there were many mines that produced coal. As mentioned above, coal production collapsed due to the coal crisis in the 1970s. As a result, coal mines stood empty. Zeche Zollverein is the most famous and has been awarded UNESCO World Heritage status. Today you can find there a museum and Germany's longest freestanding escalator. Because of the history of the Ruhr area, there are many museums. For example, the German Mining Museum in Bochum. It is the largest mining museum in the world. Another museum created from the remains of industry is the Gasometer in Oberhausen, where annual exhibitions are held today. The huge gas container was divided into 3 levels. Since 1994, the Gasometer with its 16 exhibitions has been visited over 7 million times. Oberhausen Mitte used to consist of a large industrial area. In the mid-90s, one of the largest shopping centers in Europe was planned there. The Centro, with over 250 shops and an area of 830,000 square meters, offers many leisure facilities such as a cinema, restaurants and theme parks. Centro is now the new center of Oberhausen. It also had the second largest food court in Europe, the Coca-Cola Oasis. Coal mining had a major byproduct, slag. The slag was piled up in large mountains called slag heaps. As coal mining was very strong in the Ruhr area, many slag heaps can be found today. These serve as viewing platforms or memorial sites. For example, the Rheinpreußen slag heap, where there is a miner's lamp that reminds us of the miners. It is always lit up red at night. Halde Norddeutschland is used by paragliders because the heat in the mountain creates an updraft and it has a height of 102 meters. The Hall House is located on the Norddeutschland slag heap. Events are held there and it's supposed to greet people passing by from the motorway. Tiger and Turtle is a work of art on the slag heap in Duisburg. This roller coaster is accessible, but unfortunately the loop is closed off. It is one of the most famous sites in the Ruhr region. Also an important point is education. The first university in Germany was founded in Bochum in 1962. There are now 5 universities and 15 colleges in the Ruhr area.
The Ruhr area is called Ruhr area because the river Ruhr flows through it. From the Ruhr are yearly 450 million cubic meter of water taken. The water gets pumped up with machines like you can see on the pictures. The water is mostly used for the industries. To make sure that no water gets lost in the Ruhr, there are dams built in the Ruhr, like you can see on the picture. In the Ruhr area, all the drink water comes from the river Ruhr, because the water flows very slow and so the mud and other pollutants settle themselves down, and due to the leakage the water also gets very clear. So all in all, we can say that the water of the Ruhr and other rivers in the Ruhr area is mostly used for the industry, to get energy, drink water and for the domestic water supply. In the Ruhr area we have a big inland port in Duisburg. At the area from the inland port 300 companies are settled, circa 20,000 ships and circa 25,000 freight trains come to the inland port every year. Another important fact about the Ruhr area you need to know is that the area is known for its mining past. The coal mining helped the Ruhr area very much to develop. In the Middle Age, the villages and the cities started developing themselves. But they got bigger and richer due to the coal mining and the industrialization. The mining in the Ruhr area started in the 19th century. Due to the mining, many railways and collieries were built. Another important fact is the football in the Ruhr area. We have two of the biggest German clubs in the Ruhr area. Borussia Dortmund, who are even one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and Schalke 04. Both clubs have big stadiums, for example the Veltins Arena from Schalke, where 62,000 people fit in, and the Signal Iduna Park from Borussia Dortmund, where 81,000 people fit in, and it's the biggest football stadium in Germany. At last you can see pictures from the Ruhr area from the past and now.